When we talk about intentions, we can have a very good idea about what are the real intentions of the United States or Trump in saying that the United States should own the Gaza Strip. Breaking: National Security Advisor Mike Waltz confirms that Trump's proposal to take over Gaza is meant to pressure neighboring Arab nations to come up with their own solutions. It's going to bring the entire region to come with their own solutions. We're going to watch this clip, and then I'm going to make a comment about how can you use that kind of negotiation tactic that I have to confess I didn't see at first, but now I see it. It is a very common negotiation tactic, and I'm going to tell you how you can use it for yourself.
I mean, you have literally nearly 2 million people living in a place that has thousands and thousands of unexploded ordnance and bombs. It's in some places like a minefield.
That is quite tragic in itself. That's quite tragic. And I always say that no matter what is your position in here, you want children on every side to be safe. And no, this is not a safe place for anybody. Not only children, but anybody.
You have buildings that are collapsing and unsafe. You have no sewage, no running water. It has become completely unlivable with this war that Hamas started on October 7th. And I, as a veteran, can tell you it is despicable and sad that groups like Hamas, Al-Qaeda, ISIS literally sacrifice the lives and the livelihoods of their own people to achieve some type of ideological gain. But I think what the president is just acknowledging is we've been looking at this over the last weeks and months, and frankly, he's been thinking about it since October 7th, and that war is, everybody's heart breaks for the.
But by the way, that's something that I to reinforce my position on that. There's a lot to be fixed in the Middle East, but the terrorism part, the part that Hamas that has embarked in that destruction and those attacks, you can say something about human rights, but no, it's like you don't have the right to be a terror cell and pretend that the world's not going to do something about that. That's why I say that the first step of any plans with Israel, with Gaza, with the Middle East is, glass, completely glass, turn them to a base, Hamas. That would be the first step. And of course, the other issue is that we could talk about Palestinians, but to what extent Hamas propaganda has infected Palestinians, and we needed to take that propaganda back. It's like when we talk about, it's like I usually joke about, libtards and that. No, sometimes people are just misinformed. The Trump derangement syndrome is that people have been misinformed, is that people have been pushed propaganda. If we can remove that effect of that propaganda, we can bring people into common sense. Maybe we can bring Palestinians that still defend Hamas actions into common sense. It is possible in some instances, and as long as it's possible in some instances, it's our duty as the world to at least try that. At least try.
Palestinian people across the region, and rightly so, but he's not seeing any realistic solutions on how those miles and miles and miles of debris are going to be cleared, how those, essentially unexploded bombs are going to be removed, how these people are physically going to live.
So the theory here, which is very interesting, is that Trump through all these words, including the owning the Gaza Strip or owning Gaza, in terms of, okay, let's do something, or let's say something that is so outrageous that maybe Netanyahu didn't see it coming. So the countries of the Middle East say, oh, all right, what? What do you mean by owning? What do you think that you're going to come into our neighborhood and just come here, own the thing, displace millions of people, of Palestinians to live how? And where? So it's kind of, Trump is saying this very publicly in this very public meeting with Netanyahu to force countries on the Middle East to act. So you haven't been able to reach to a solution yet. You're trying to look the other way. You try to pretend that this is not happening. Well, I'm going to strong arm you into doing something, which is the same approach when you think about it. What he did with the tariffs of Mexico and Canada is he says that he's going to do something. Everybody knows that he's not bluffing. And then, well, Mexico and Canada caved in. So right now, it's not that he would not, let's say, own Gaza and transform it in some sort of Dubai with all the money that the United States is about to save thanks to Dodge. I wouldn't be surprised that they can find a common ground with other countries, but other countries in the Middle East might not be okay with the United States owning that land. So, okay, this is my proposal, says Trump. Now it's your turn to propose something. And it's like you propose. That is the technique that I want you to learn. You propose something that is so outrageous that people will be scandalized. They're going to be like flabbergasted. I wanted to use that word. And then, okay, but maybe we can work something that is not so outrageous. Maybe we can work something out. That is what Trump, I think, thanks to your answers and replies on X, by the way, I think that is what Trump is trying to do here. I'm going to do a very public display of a crazy power. Crazy is the word. Let's own this. Let's transform this in Dubai Part 2, and will be owned by the United States. And then I can imagine Saudi Arabia jumping in and say, "Oh, wait a second, but we want to cooperate as well. We want in as well." Reminds me of that Huckleberry Finn anecdote of him painting the fence and saying that, "Oh, this is so great to paint the fence," and all the boys come and they begin painting the fence as well. And at the end of the day, the boys are painting the fence, and Huckleberry Finn can go fishing or something. It's like that. You use this kind of a strategy. This is kind of a strategy that it could be hard to pull off, because you have to pull them off with that straight face. You have to say things that are going to make people really uncomfortable. That is not easy for many people. It's obvious that Trump was born with that gift, and he has perfected that over many, many decades of dealings and negotiations in both commercially and politically. So we don't know if that's going to work, but we do know that whatever all those countries have done up to this point has not worked. It's not working. So it's time to try something different. I guess that that's what Trump is planning with this one. But I would like to know what you think about this strategy and this approach in the comments. I'm keeping an eye on your comments, and yes, this is an. Remember to download my free 100 body language tips in the description of this video, and you will be subscribed to my free and awesome emails as well.